Hey everybody, DIY Coach Al over here at Lawn Care and Home Repair. And today I just want to do a quick video to let you know, I don't want to say it's the number one thing you should be doing right now. That's definitely watering, but something that should rank right up there on the list. It's actually very simple. Hold on, be right back. Yeah, she's looking good. Y'all go ahead and cue that music now. Everybody. So what we definitely need to be doing around this time of the year, we are right around mid-June. You know, we're going into those hot summer months. But what we really need to be doing at this point is something really simple. It's walking our lawn to look at what it needs. Now, most of us, or many of us, have already put down our dithiopyr, our prodiamine. We already did our pre-emergent. And regardless of what pre-emergent you use, there is nothing that's going to be 100% efficient. What we're going to do at best is to suppress a lot of those weeds from coming up. But no matter how good something is, there is nothing perfect that's on the market. You are going to have some weeds that pop up. Now, walking your lawn, as I said, is probably the second best thing that you could be doing right now, because what we want to do is tackle those little nuisances before they turn into something larger. Now, this is my front yard. I make sure she gets watered, she gets nutrients, she gets everything she needs on a regular basis, because this is what people look at when they ride by the house or when they first come over. So I try to make sure that even if I'm kind of slacking on everything else, that I'm keeping everything up out here. But what I do on a regular basis is walk my lawn. And in walking around, I can see those little things that can just bother you, like this weed right here. I have no idea how or why it popped up right here in front of this Japanese maple, but I'm going to have to go and get my weed killer, probably my glyphosate, because this is not around any grass. I can just go ahead and hit this right here with the glyphosate. But now this is something that's big enough that I'm going to see. And then over here, my wife is still kind of working on the flower bed, see some weeds over there, and she's good about that. She's going to come out and she's going to take care of that. But right behind, I'm not sure what she calls this. I'm not sure what weed that is. It almost looks like overgrown thistle. But I'm going to go ahead and knock that out. But because we are now in the heat of summer with the humidity, probably the number one thing you're going to need to look out for is fungus. Now, fungus spots, whether you have dollar spot, whether you have rust or you have brown patch, it doesn't matter what you have. You have to make sure you're walking your lawn so that you don't miss it. Unfortunately, with fungus, when you treat it, when you kill it, unless you have a spreading type of grass, it may not fill right back in right away. But it doesn't always start off as a bright brown spot. Sometimes fungus starts off just like this. I wouldn't have seen this if I hadn't come out to walk my lawn, but I've seen this enough to know that this is what that fungus looks like. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that is. I have hit this with azoxystrobin. I have hit this with all of my fungicides. But as I said before, no matter what you do, and I literally just put a fungicide, I'm sure it was propiconazole that I put down a week ago and 2 weeks ago, but you still see that I have fungus that's coming up right there. Now, today is our video this. It's about 85 degrees outside. It's supposed to be 92 tomorrow, low humidity today, but it's going to be more humid tomorrow and Friday. Today is Wednesday, I believe, the 11th of June. So, in just looking at the plant, it looks very healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, as I said before, you are just going to get some times where you have some things that are breaking through. But because In the summertime, what you have that is a lawn killer, it is fungus. Fungus thrives in the heat, and it also thrives when there's high humidity. Now, I already have a batch of propiconazole that's mixed up along with some blue dye in it to make sure I see where I'm hitting. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to put some propiconazole on this. But if I hadn't been walking my lawn, if I'm just coming out the front door and just kind of casually glancing at it, saying, hey, everything looks good, then I wouldn't see that. And fungus can actually spread so quickly that if you don't jump on it right away, it can wipe out large sections of your lawn. Then you'll have to wait to you have to kill it, and then you have to put some more grass seed there unless you have a spreading type grass. But the other problem with that is in the summertime, unless you have a southern grass, a warm season grass, a zoysia, a St. Augustine, a Bermuda, or something like that, centipede. If you don't have any of those grass types, then summertime is that time where you're going to have a lot of stress on your plant, and it's just not going to grow or spread as fast. So now the temperatures are getting up in the 90s. We're going to have 90s the next few days, but then we're going to hit a stretch of weather where it's not so hot. So I'm going to come back out here and I'm going to hit this with some propiconazole. And my advice to you is to make sure you are walking your lawn. So I'm going to switch to the back end. I know the back is not looking as healthy. I did just put around a 4602 fertilizer on it because it was just looking stressed. Watered it in. I'm going to continue to use my sprinkler system because we're going to have a lot of heat over the next couple of days. So I want to give those pellets, I want to give those granules time to melt. This time I did use a granular fertilizer because I was having some pain in my back and just didn't want to put that backpack spray on it. I'm going to come back and take a look at the back. Alrighty, so just coming around the back, as I said before, the lawn is actually very healthy. And I do want to let you know something too. When you get a lot of rain, when you get a lot of heat, you're going to see some discoloration in your grass. Now, depending upon the cultivar you have, how it was engineered, some cultivars are engineered to handle the heat stress a little better. We've actually had a lot of rain over in this part of Maryland and southern Maryland, Prince George's County. We've had a lot of rain. So I had to come out here the other day and put a mow on it because it was growing in some areas and not in other areas. But I had to deal with a few outbreaks of some fungus here. Nothing big, just had to hit it, get rid of it. But when I was out here doing that, my nemesis reared its ugly head, and I realized it's coming back. This is the dreaded common Bermuda, and it's coming back. It's in a few spots now. Ironically enough, the reason I was able to spot this time is because we've had so much rain that the grass was starting to get a little discolored, you see those yellow spots on there. But the common Bermuda, it is a warm season weed. This kind of weed thrives in the heat, and it has almost like a dull green color to it. So because the grass, I hadn't put as much fert on it, and we had so much rain, I was able to spot this quite easily. So what I had to do was come out and mow the lawn to get it ready to put some Ornamic 170 down. Now, as I said before, if I hadn't come out and walked and looked at the yard to see what it looks like, it's quite possible that by the time I'd seen that, it would have spread a lot further than it did. So I cut my grass a little lower than I normally would. And I wanted to put some fertilizer on it because what I want to do is stimulate that growth. I have another video that I'm going to be posting in a few days that's going to really go over what I'm doing. But once again, I found the Bermuda because I was walking the yard. And then I saw some other things that I had to take care of. And what I did was got my Q4 plus. But when you walk your yard, what you're looking for now are those post-emergent weeds, the ones that got through the propiconazole. I'm sorry, not the propiconazole, the dithiopyr. They got through the prodiamine. They got through your pre-emergence. You are going to have some weeds that's just going to be difficult. So get out, walk your yard, look for those weeds that have popped up. They come up in the summertime. Once again, no matter what you do, how often you do it, you are going to have some breakthrough weeds. Nothing wrong with that. As I said, you're going to also find that you have some discoloration or some, if in fact where you are, you're starting to get that heat, you're going to start seeing your grass go into a slight dormancy. That is normal. What you want to do is make sure you are giving it that water. You are looking, walking through it. Make sure you're not letting those weeds go, because if you don't tackle those weeds now, when they go to seeding and they spread, you're going to have a big problem later on. So you guys get out, walk your lawn. Don't be surprised when you see some breakthrough weeds. But the best thing you can do right now outside of watering is get out and walk your lawn to make sure you don't have those weeds trying to really create a problem for you. Hey, you guys do me a favor. If you like the content, I would be so appreciative if you would hit that like and subscribe button. Really would help me out with the algorithm with YouTube. And I also enjoy bringing content to you. Hit that like and that subscribe. Hit that notification so that you'll know the next video, when the next video comes out. Within the next few days after posting this one, I will be posting a video on what I did or what I'm doing to deal with this outbreak of Bermuda. If it's not the poor early on, that cool season weed, then it's going to be the Bermuda, at least up here for me. Hey, you guys have an amazing day on purpose. And like I always say, if you can, do something on purpose today to help pick somebody else up. Y'all have an amazing day.